Mark, you're back on the show. Although I just call you Morgs. Isn't that are we friendly? Can I call you Morgs?
Yeah, my friends can call me Morgs, so you're all good, mate.
Okay, I've now graduated. We've known each other multiple years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've graduated.
To be fair, I think you got to that level pretty soon. I think after a couple of months you were there.
Yeah,
already.
I mean, I'm pretty chummy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not shy. You know what I mean? Like I wear my heart on my sleeve. So you get all of me, Mark.
All good for me. All good.
So you're back on the show because we are following ATHX Climb, and we've got some announcements that are happening. By the time we've released this, we will wait. So essentially today, or I don't know if I release this tomorrow or next week, but what is happening tomorrow? What will everybody know by the time this goes up?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah, so tomorrow or today, whenever people are listening to this, we will be announcing our first 5 events of 2026. The exciting part of that for us is that those 5 events are across 5 different countries. So I just need to check my notes. So we'll be announcing our London event on January 31st, February 1st, our Munich event on February 7th. Our Madrid event, March 28th, our Milan event, April 18th, and our Paris event, April 26th. So in the first 4 months of 2026, we'll have 5 events across 5 countries, which is obviously for us, really exciting growth, taking ATHX out into Europe.
What's that line from the song? London, Paris, London, Munich, everybody talk about pop music. You know that song?
I don't, but
you don't know that song?
No, I don't, but you know.
Oh man, I will risk being, demonetized to find this song. Hang on a second. You definitely know this song. Come on, man.
I think you're a bit older than me. Maybe.
I know, but like, hang on. Let's see if this is it. Paris, Munich, everybody talk about pop music. There it was. It took much too long to get there. It almost wasn't worth it. I wish I'd found that the first time. You've never heard that song out in the clubs?
I never have. But yeah, if we announce a New York event later in the year, that could be on it.
Took far too long. So you and I talk a fair amount behind the scenes, and we've talked about other countries happening. So we're finally getting this year. This year was the first time in. Was it the first time in Ireland as well?
Yeah. So this year will be the first time we've done two European events. So we've done Dublin, which we had a few weeks ago, and then we've got Berlin on October 25th. So our first kind of entry into Europe, which has been great, been really well received. And then next year, taking that to another level. So obviously we've got those 5 events that we're going to be announcing, but clearly that's not going to be the end of it. So in a few weeks' time, we're going to be announcing further events that will be taking place next year to kind of round out the whole ATHX season.
So can you tell us now how many events you think you're going to do next year?
I can't
without saying where. Just you don't have to say where. You can just say you can give us a round-ish number.
Yeah, I would roundish. It will be approximately 20 events that we'll be doing with ATHX next year. So when you think this year we're going to be, if you include the finals, this year will be at 8. So for 2025, so decent growth moving into next year. And the exciting thing as well is each event's getting bigger in terms of number of competitors. So whether that is more lanes or more actual event live days, each event is growing in itself, which is really exciting.
Well, you've done a couple things this year that were different than last year. One is even having the individual categories. We didn't have that before this year, right?
Yeah.
And how has that been received?
It's been really good, actually. It's been really well received. The whole idea behind it is it just, there's no barrier to entry, right? So whether you are, if you can't find a partner, whatever fitness level you are, you can, now enter an ATHX. So yeah, individuals been really well received actually.
And we changed the running, correct? We're on a track now.
We did. We're on a track, which for me has been game changing. One, because I don't like running on a treadmill, so
Me either.
It's great for me, but I feel like it's just added loads to the event. So yeah, the workout this year is on the endurance side is a 12-minute max distance run around a 250-meter track. And then 2-minute break, and then a 12-minute max distance bike erg. So it's a really good workout, but I think having the competitors loop round the outside of the arena just brings the crowd into it. Just gives it a really nice feel, and it's it's just more fun running against people rather than on a treadmill.
The endurance zone, which is typically bike, run, row, this year just bike and run, but then we get the rower in the Metcon zone. Now, I will not be at the December event, which breaks my heart because we had a 2-year streak of me coming to chilly Birmingham. But I'd be thrilled to see that. I think I was the last finisher in the the Metcon zone last year. So I have gotten stronger, but also I had a issue, man, with my shoulder, and all those ground to overheads. If you don't have, if your mechanics aren't good and you've got an injury, no good. So last year I was proud to finish, but it was a rough one for me.
Well, yeah. So the new workouts are also out tomorrow. So the 2026 workouts are out tomorrow. So hopefully you can you have a look at them, and they'll get you excited to compete again next year.
Well, can we talk about them? Do you have them in front of you?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So
okay.
the strength workout this year is going to be there's going to be 3 lifts and it's the same workout for all categories. So we have a 1 RM strict press, a 3 RM back squat, and then a 5 RM deadlift. So 3 lifts for everyone. The beauty for me of this workout is obviously it can keep your strength training very varied in the gym. So we obviously have a pull movement in the deadlift. We have a leg movement, and then we have a push movement. So it's a really nice, you have to kind of test all the fundamentals.
Okay, so give me those 3 again, because I know it's been similar each year in the strength zone. So this year, what was it this year?
This year it was a 10 RM strict press,
okay,
and a 5 RM back squat.
Okay,
and then we asked the pro athletes to do a 1 RM weighted pull up. So the pro athletes had 3 lifts, and everyone else had 2. Next year, everyone will be the same. So a 1 RM, 1 rep max strict press, a 3 rep max back squat, and a 5 rep max deadlift.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I'd have to look to see what they were before. The weighted pull up. Yeah, I've never had to do that one because I do the open. But that one, it seems like you can't really mess about with, because the other you can, if you've got too much weight on there and you kind of realize it right away, you still might be able to go back down. But I feel like with weighted pull-ups, once you're gassed, man, right?
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of know exactly what you can do there.
Yeah, and that's why that one this year was just for the pro athletes, because as well, some of our athletes in the open category, or particularly the light category, a weighted pull up would be a challenging movement, So and for us, it's very important that athletes of all ages and all abilities, can take on the ATHX challenge. So yeah, it's important that wasn't in there. But for me next year, a strict press, a back squat, and a deadlift are 3 very, very simple movements that anyone will be able to do. So
well, and that's the other thing you did introduce this year, which is the light, which I'm also fan of, and I've said that about High Rocks and other races. I think there's pro, there's open, and then there's, hey, I'm really, really new at this, and maybe give me a break on the barrier to entry, as you spoke about. So I'm a big fan of the light.
Yeah, and being honest with you, when you look at our events this year, the kind of inclusivity of the events has gone up like year on year, and in particular this year. And I think the light category has played a major part in that. We had a pair this year where the one guy was 78 and I think his partner was 74, so a combined age of over 150. And not only did they complete all 3 workouts, but they absolutely loved it. And it just showed me that, and that's just one example. We had a lady do it the other week that was 28 weeks pregnant. We've had people do it that have they're never done a fitness competition like this before, and just walk away like absolutely buzzing about the community vibe, how it made them feel, how they were welcomed into the arena. So yeah, and the light categories played a major part in that.
So next year, what will the difference be for light versus regular?
Yeah, so strength, there isn't a difference. The basically with the strength workout, essentially you're picking your own weight, right? So
so you don't really need to, right? It's just a matter of how many reps can you get.
Yeah, exactly. And it's as hard as you want it to be, as hard as you can push yourself. And you are really, you're setting yourselves a target in your training, and you're trying to either achieve that target in the actual workout, the live workout itself, or hopefully exceed it. But yeah, there doesn't need to be a difference between the 3 categories in strength this year, which I think is really cool, because we can all compare numbers. And like I say, you can compare against yourself and where you were, a few months before you started training, but you can also compare against everyone else that's competing, which is cool.
And then what about the endurance and the Metcon?
So endurance this year is going to be a run row workout. So Matt, if me and you were a pair and you started on the run, you would run 750 meters, 3 laps of our track. While you were running, I would be rowing, and then when you finish your 750 meters, we swap. And then we do this, we keep swapping every 750 meter run for 22 minutes. So
everybody goes to the end.
Everyone goes to the end.
Okay, see, that's different than before. Before it was, if you got the work done, you were done.
Yeah, off. Yeah, this one, everyone goes to the end. And
again, I like that. That levels it out a little bit more.
Yeah. And our score would be the combined distance we ran plus the combined distance we rode.
What do you like to run in for an indoor shoe?
Well, it's got to be the Addy Zero.
Okay, is that what you lift? Is that what you lifted as well?
No, I would. If I was going to do the 3 workouts, I would personally use 2 different Adidas shoes. So I'd use the drop set for strength and for Metcon, and I'd use the Addy Zero for the endurance.
So when you go to the stations, you have your little bag, your little purse, right, with your shoes in it.
Yeah.
And your little water bottle, right?
Yeah. And you change.
You're not gonna...
and we see athletes actually use 3 pairs of shoes. So some athletes use like an Adidas lifter for strength, then the Addy Zero running shoe, and then the drop set for the Metcon. So they're the people that take it very seriously. But
too seriously. I think there should be a 2 shoe limit. And if you have 3 shoes, you say, "Listen, you're taking yourself too fucking seriously, and this competition's not for you. We're out to have a good time." So I can't. I'll put you this way: the people who win your competition don't have 3 shoes. I will say that. People who win the whole thing, I bet, have 2 shoes max. I would bet money on that.
I don't know.
But like a serious age grouper, they're the 3 shoes and all the accoutrements.
I think when Chandler Smith flew over from America to do our Glasgow event this year, and he was going head to head with BKG, so 2 CrossFit Games athletes competing in the event off their own back, and I'm pretty sure they use 3 pairs of shoes, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna have to ask Chandler. I got Chandler on speed dial. I can ask him. BKG I've met thanks to your event. I'm not as close with, but could be sponsor obligations as well. I don't know.
And then, sorry, back to endurance workout. The difference between the categories. So I assumed that me and you, Matt, when I gave that example, would be competing in the ATHX category, the middle category.
Middle,
so
sure, we'll go middle.
We would do 750-meter run before we swapped each time. The light category would do 500 meters. So they would swap from runner to rower every time the runner completed 2 laps. And then the pro category would swap every 1 kilometer. So they would do 4 laps before swapping onto the rower.
All right, let's break this down, Mark. If we're switching more, I don't know that that's quote unquote easier.
It is, because it definitely is. So
all right. I'm going to put this into chat, I think, and see what chat says, because
see what they say.
The stress of, I don't know. I feel like you might go faster at the shorter, and then the stress of switching. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. I like it. I like the concept. I'm just thinking out loud. Tell me your thoughts, and I'm gonna.
So part of the thinking is that the time on the rower versus the time on the run should actually be fairly similar. So if you think about it, a pro athlete running a kilometer wouldn't be that much different from an open athlete running 750 meters, as in because the pro athlete will be quicker, right? So the time on the rower will actually be fairly similar. What we didn't want to do was have a light category where it's taking, I don't know, it might take a light competitor 6-7 minutes to do a kilometer run, and then someone's on there on the rower for 6-7 minutes, which is a long time.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the 4 to 3 probably is about right, but I think when you drop down to 5, again, they might go a little bit faster. We'll type it in the chat later. But or if you're listening to this and you're a math nerd, and I know they're out there, send me a nice long IG message and tell me your thoughts on it. Also, I always have to say this: make sure you say, "Hey, I'm listening to the ATHX episode," because what happens is somebody's listening to an episode 6 months from now, and they just type it because to them it's right now.
Right.
I'm like, what do you? They answer a question I asked 3 months ago, like 9. Oh, yeah. I'm like, what does 9 mean? Oh, when you were talking to Mark. It's like, well, to you, it's right now. To me, it was 2024. Yeah. Anyway, so listen to you. Anyway, go ahead.
So that's the endurance workout, and then the Metcon workout is obviously all these numbers are shared. So again, Matt, and if we were doing it together, we could share these reps or these cows as we wanted. There's no one's forced to do anything. I could do the whole workout, and you could sit there and watch me if we really wanted to. But obviously, hopefully, that won't be the case. So the workout is a 60-calorie ski erg into 60 ground to overheads. Single arm ground to overheads, into 60 box jump overs, into a 60-meter sandbag carry, into 60-meter walking lunges, into 60-meter burpee broad jumps, and then end back on the ski for another 60 calories.
So the way you have the floor set up in that third zone, the ski would be sort of at the back here, right?
Yeah.
And then we work our way down. We're running laps back and forth, right?
Yes. The ski, the box, and the dumbbells are at one end, and the sandbag, and then you do your work there, and then obviously for the carries, the lunges, and the burpee broad jumps, you work up a 15-meter lane. So they're back to get your 60 meters. You
do have, so people listening who've never done one, you do get a singular judge for your entire Metcon, for example, a single judge and the judging is on point. I will say we've talked on the show quite a bit about judges who aren't so great, and it's always a struggle, but my experience with your race, what I watch and what I receive on my own end is, you know, at the lift, you got somebody super supportive, great judge helping you. Same thing on the second zone, although the second zone is machines. You still have someone marking. And then that third one, again, really quality judges, supportive, but also no repping when need to. I've seen a couple wonky ones when guys are doing those super fast synchro burpees over the line. I've seen some that are a little wonky, but I would say your event gets mostly really good marks on judging.
Yeah, I think where we obviously differ from a High Rocks is that we're not a continuous race, right? So, and you know, for people that haven't heard me speak or haven't been to an ATHX or seen our website or social channels, we're ATHX is a six zone event, but you have controlled rest periods. So you have a 30-minute in a warm up zone, 20 minutes in the strength workout, then you have 10 minutes in refuel, 30 minutes in endurance, 30 minutes in recovery zone.
My favorite zone.
and then and then 30 minutes in Metcon. So what that means is that, you know, we believe those controlled rest periods are really, really important, because it then isn't just a test of endurance. Like, you're going into strength fresh, you're going into Metcon fresh-ish. And that means, though, but as an athlete, you've had time to rest and recover, understand what the next workout is. So I think athletes come into the zone and the workout probably in a better place. They build a relationship with their judge that is specific to their lane in the 5 minutes before they start the workout. They have that opportunity to talk to the judge to talk to them, be really clear on what the expectations are, on the movement standards and the rules. And I believe that is such a key part of making it all run smoother and having a better judge competitor relationship. And I think, like I said, it also is really important to it makes it a true test of fitness, which is really important to us.
Yeah, and listen, I joke, but honestly, that recovery zone, you've got I don't want to get your sponsor wrong. So who does your compression boots?
Hyperice.
So you get the compression boots, you got professional masseuses or whatever, PT people with the guns, the whole thing. That's what do you call it? Guns. What do you call those?
Massage gun, I think.
Massage guns. I don't want to get, again, like the word, you say the word GUN and you might get banned on your YouTube. And whatever flavor of drink sponsor you've got that season. But it really is, I would say that's a first class experience. Even though they're seeing people all day, everyone I've dealt with, and it's not like they know who I am or anything. I'm not getting special treatment. I'm just the next loud, sweaty bloke that's come in there. So it is my favorite section.
But it is. I know we're half joking here, like you said, but it is for us such an important part of the experience. And what we're continuing to do as a team is look at ways in which we can improve every part of the experience. So I would like to think, you know, Matt, if you come back and do an event next year with us, you will see that zone will hopefully be even better, and you'll walk away going, wow, they've actually stepped it up.
Honestly, I think the feedback I gave you was, and again, we do expect athletes to do some homework, right? Read the emails, know what you're supposed to do. But these judges have a really hard job of doing the before the race speech, right? And if it's doubles, they're probably only sending one person, and it's super loud because that's the vibe of the event. But I do think that's one thing where you could probably do yourselves a favor by somehow making that, because then this person's just yelling. And when someone's just yelling, then other people are kind of tuned out. And again, they should know the standards anyway, but I feel like that was kind of a place where I just kind of feel bad for them because it's not necessarily being delivered in the best way. But again, I know the music and Gus yelling, like that's all part of the vibe. So, or whoever, Gus or whoever.
Like I think that's a perfect example of where there's actually like easy solutions for stuff like this. So next year we're looking at bringing in Bluetooth headphones. so that competitors, when they're getting briefed, will have Bluetooth headphones on, so the noise is blocked out. They can hear everything the head judge is saying. Easy.
Okay,
done.
Sounds good to me.
Simple win, right? So
lots of wipes. You need lots of wipes for those.
Yeah, we do need some wipes. I'll take that. But for me, it's such a simple thing. When you look at problems like that in isolation, you can always come up with a nice solution. So we had the issue last year of the whole arena becoming full of bags, right? And it was just bags everywhere. We've got 80 athletes in a zone, and there's bags everywhere. This year we have lockers for all our athletes, and the ATHX padlock has become a thing, right? So that is the ATHX padlock is become a bit like a sign of something that you compete in an ATHX, right?
Do I hang it on my bag like one of these wonderful things?
That is gonna be the plan moving forward, yeah. So that it becomes exactly that. It becomes your kind of badge of honor, right?
You know how how you can tell someone's a hybrid fitness athlete?
The bag, right?
Well, they'll tell you, and then the bag. You never heard that joke before? People usually say it with like CrossFitters or vegans. Like, how do you know you've just met a vegan? I will fucking tell you. So anyway, but this is a point of pride for me. Do you have a bag sponsor?
Adidas, yeah. So Adidas.
Oh, they're everything.
Yeah, they are. They are.
All right.
Friends across the full merch range. So, and we've got some really exciting announcements coming up with them again.
I will say I should have actually worn it. The shirt I got from you last year could be one of my faves. It's just all black, little boxy, little oversized, with just sweet, like that logo, like right down the middle. I can wear it. It goes with everything. So one of my favorite.
Really nice merch coming out next year as well with Adidas. I mean,
but this was free, just so people know. This was like the finisher tee. I got this I just had to turn in my wristband or whatever.
Yeah, you did. So, but yeah, no, it's loads of exciting stuff going on there. They're obviously great partners for us. They've been unreal so far, and lots more to come with them, which is cool.
Let me look at my notes here. So it's possible. I know you can't say a ton, but it is possible that there are more to come. Or did we already say? Yeah, you said 20 rates. So there's like a dozen more announcements to come.
I've said more, yeah. So there's obviously, we're clearly not going to have only one event in the UK next year. So London is going to be live on sale tomorrow, but there are more to come in the UK, and there's more to come across Europe. But we're also going to be announcing events beyond Europe as well, which is really exciting.
Well, somebody on this call has threatened to come to America for I think half a decade now. So I'm waiting, mate. I'm over here in America, waiting to spread the gospel of ATHX.
No, we can't give too much away, but there's some more announcements outside of Europe coming very soon, and for me, even the announcement in a few weeks, hopefully won't be the end of it, and more to come after that. And excitingly as well, I think the finals is going to be moving next year, so it's going to be Birmingham again this year, but next year will not be in Birmingham. It's going to be out in another cool location, which I can't announce yet, but very excited by that. And we're also working pretty hard on the introduction of a new elite individual division category, which is something that when we saw Chandler and BKG competing head to head in Glasgow, it kind of just made complete sense. It feels like ATHX as a competition is really, really nicely kind of set up for CrossFit athletes in particular to at that level to do very, very well at. It's also the feedback they gave us was they love it because they don't have to completely change the training that they do and the style of training that they do. Whereas obviously, if they want to do well at a High Rocks or other, fitness races, they have to put a lot more into their running. Whereas they felt that doing ATHX, it kind of complemented their existing training. So we're really excited by that. Again, can't really say too much yet, but before the end of the year, we'll have some announcements around a new elite individual division and what that's going to entail, and how people can qualify for the finals for that, and how they'll be rewarded at the finals, which is really cool.
Okay. I would recommend 10, 12, or 20. Just be different. Everybody seems to love 15 these days. I think you could, like Deca was 10, then 20, then they're 15. I think we should mix it up.
We won't be 15.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right. That's I kind of figured. You like to be. Listen, you're not delusional. We all know that High Rocks is, the mowing down the, what do you call it, the awareness. But yeah, you should be different.
And I think that's always been my thought when it comes to High Rocks. I applaud them for the success they've had. I think the product they've got is fantastic. We are not another High Rocks. We are a completely different fitness challenge, and I think that is really important for us to maintain that. We want to be seen as not necessarily a fitness race or a test of endurance. We are an all-round test of fitness, and I feel that is. I'm not saying that is better or worse than High Rocks. It's just different. And a lot of events that are coming out now, new events, are trying to be a different, a version of what High Rocks is. We don't want to be that, clearly. So yeah, we remain different.